How do you become a millionaire from just a £50 investment? Hi there, my name is Paul Harding and I want to introduce you to a brilliant investment club called the Angel Business Club. And this is a truly revolutionary and really exciting place to be. You simply pay a contribution to the club every month, a bit like you would with a Sky subscription or a savings plan. And every month the club invests in various startup businesses and gives us shares to the same value of our contribution minus a small admin fee. Now, I've said, how could you become a millionaire from a £50 investment? This is a real example. If you had put £50 investment into Uber just 9 years ago, that would have returned you 1.6 million by today. Within just 9 years, a small £50 investment into 1.6 million. That's the power of what is called angel investing. You invest when a company is very young, it's got all the good hallmarks, got good management, good product, good possibilities, but even a small investment in a company that goes on to grow substantially like that can return you a life-changing amount. Now, you couldn't have invested in Uber 2009 unless you were the venture capital firm, and the only way you'd have done that was if you're a high net worth individual, probably a millionaire in the first place. So that sort of investment has traditionally been the preserve and the reserve for the high net worth individuals and those well connected. Well, now the Angel Business Club, which is a 4-year-old club now, has leveled the playing field. Anyone, anywhere in the world can now get investments in these startup companies, but without being a multimillionaire in the first place and without taking substantial financial risk. In fact, you can join the club for just £2.70 a day, the price of a daily cup of coffee. That will get you in the club, and every month you're going to receive shares to the same value of your subscription, take away just a small €10 admin fee. You've got a full 14-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it first of all and see how you feel, get your shares, start to understand, check out the webinar videos, get on some live webinars as well. There's 2 live webinars every week at the moment. We're going to expand as the club continues to grow and so on. It really is a fantastic place to be. Personally, my portfolio is now worth over €64,000. That's in 4 years, although to be honest, most of that's happened in the last 18 months. I am over the moon with the results we're seeing with the club. There's thousands of members now around the world. Everybody is seeing very good results. That doesn't guarantee that's always going to be the way, and you should never put money into a business or a club like this that you cannot afford to lose. But like I've said, we're only talking £2.70 a day. It's not a big financial risk, but the gains, the potential is huge. Now, we had another live webinar last night, and what I want to do on the rest of this video is just give you a summary of the various companies the club has invested in. We've got investments in about 15 small privately owned businesses, and some of those are really starting to accelerate their growth, looking very good potential, either as takeover candidates, which could give us a big cash payout, or flotation on stock markets. We've already had 2 companies float on the London Stock Exchange. We've got another company about to float in the next potentially 6 weeks on the NASDAQ, the Swedish NASDAQ exchange, and so things are looking very positive. But watch this video. It will give you an insight, an insider view of the Angel Business Club. If you're already a member, keep watching as well, because this will help you see, if you weren't on the live webinar last night, help you see a summary of the power of where the club is going and what we're doing. It really is it's a brilliant place to be. A right place to be is poor English, but it's a brilliant place to be. Keep watching, and hopefully you'll get that light bulb moment. Come and join the club for just £2.70 a day. Start getting shares like Uber that 9 years ago could have turned you into a multi-millionaire today, just in 9 years, on a very small stake. Keep watching. This is the summary of last night's webinar. One of the first items on last night's webinar was the investment that the club made in Firescape, which was probably about 18 months, maybe even 2 years ago now. And essentially there's only 100 members of the Angel Business Club that made that investment. It was made as available as an opportunity, so it's not highly relevant to most members, but the details are that Firescape, originally when we loaned them the money, the idea was that we would get a 20% discount as they floated the company on the stock market. They didn't manage to float the company on the stock market in the end. It's a very expensive process to do that, and they weren't quite ready for that. Now what's happened is that Dominic is joining the board of Firescape. The old board have gone. They just didn't really materialize what was the big potential with Firescape products. So Dominic's now on the board. They have a joint venture with EARS Fire Engineering. I've just watched a video on EARS, looked at their website. They're a £10 million turnover company aiming for £20 million in the next few years. And we now have the opportunity to either get our money back plus 10% per year, which was the agreement of the loan note, which a lot of members will find very attractive. Where can you get 10% per year these days? So you can either take your money out, or we will get the opportunity to convert that into shares in Firescape. Now the deal with EARS is that it's a joint venture agreement. There's the first order for 33,000 spray safe products in production. And the deal is that Firescape will get 51% of the profit share and EARS will get 49%. So we stand the chance now of having a major shareholding in this company. The Angel Business Club, that is, will be a substantial shareholder. Normally we might get 2, 3, 5% of a business, but we are now talking a major shareholding in Firescape. So that business is looking very interesting, and we'll watch that one very closely over the next few months. But it's great to be teamed up now with a fire engineering company that have already a market there, and they're going great guns, potentially going great guns with it. So that's very, very interesting. Let's see, highlights, wide sales, nothing much to report there. SITV. Path Investments. This was one of the first companies that the Angel Business Club had, which floated on the stock market, and they've just going through the final stages of an agreement for a takeover, and that we're expecting those shares to come back on at twice the price, so a doubling of our money on Path Investments. There's not much point in talking about the publicly listed companies now. All the information on a publicly listed company, in other words a company which is on a public stock exchange such as the London Stock Exchange, we don't get any more information than is out there in the public domain. That would be insider trading if we did. So this is all information now that's in the public domain once they become a public listed company. Global Shakers, I think the next company. Yes, Global Shakers, they have received another round of investment funding from a company called Lux Fund. They've invested £100,000 alongside us at the Angel Business Club. So again, that validates our investment, but it also now allows them to take on 4 full-time editors and really do the official full launch now for Global Shakers. So again, a very interesting business, plenty of interest on the near timelines, next 2 or 3 years with Global Shakers. The next business that Dominic went through was International Ambulances. This is a brilliant story as well. They have now got their working prototype almost finished. They're going to be going around various shows and visiting health trusts. They already have a very strong interest and potential orders on the books for this. They're also developing another ambulance, which is a humanitarian version for people like the Red Cross rather than for health trusts and things like that. They're going to be at the emergency show in April in London. There is also talk of a very high profile television appearance for International Ambulances. Can't say any more than that because that is very secretive, but that is very strong potential publicity. And also there has been more investment via private equity members into International Ambulances of between £500,000 and £5 million. So really validating the investment that the club has made. Again, looks really interesting in terms of what the company is doing, and we own shares in International Ambulances. What else have we got? Trailblazing Wine and Harlington Wine, they're going to be merged into one simple company, trailblazingwine.com, and they have their zero alcohol wine, which I can't remember where that's going to be on sale, but also they do it through their club. And so that is getting some rave reviews from people, so that could well take off. It's a very, very high growth market, the zero alcohol market for adult style drinks. TES, TES, absolutely fantastic news here again as well. Total Environmental Solutions are due to start refining oil, which is waste oil, slops from ships, and they have a contract, a big contract in Colombia, and so all they need to do, the oil is there in big storage areas in Colombia, and it just needs cleaning up and converting that oil back into usable refined oil. So TES have the technology to be able to do that. What they needed to do was raise the funds for that. Well, they needed to raise, I think it was about £100,000 to get the first project underway, and if they got about 600,000, they could do 2 projects which would bring them to profitability even quicker and give out the potential there for cash dividends or a potential buyout from another big company, you know, one of the other petrochemical companies. So the news last night was brilliant. They have far more than achieved their fundraising targets. They've actually raised in the region of £1 million via other fundraising as well. Obviously the club has invested, but again other private investors have invested into TES, and they can now proceed, and they're starting to book the equipment now, which will allow them to start refining the oil. So that could be profitable very, very soon in the next maybe 2 quarters of this year, and so we could start seeing dividends on that very soon. Absolutely brilliant. What else do we cover? Battle Riff. I was checking the Alexa rankings on Battle Riff. It's an online gaming portal, and it's really starting to grow fast in Portugal, but also other countries in the world, and they've taken on some other games, but Hearthstone is the real focus for them as a league facility, and so that's still a very interesting business. It's taken a while to grow that one, but we're still strongly placed there for Battle Riff. Rockstar, the superfood for dogs, now got FDA approved for the USA, due to launch in March. At the same time, Global Pet, America's biggest trade show for pet products, and more than 100 point of sales are already signed up. This is a massive expansion for Rockstar. Very, very exciting there. Again, the most likely probability for Rockstar is a trade sale. Some other big pet food company, Pedigree, or one of the other big pet food companies will just buy them out for a good substantial price. Sven and Zoe Lay are not going to sell their business there at a low price. They'll either carry on expanding at a huge rate and get an even bigger price, or they will sell out at a pretty substantial price, which is good for us, again, shareholders with that business. Halo Drinks Company, they are due to list 2 of their skinny tonic drinks in Asda, all of the Asda stores, I believe, 315 stores around the UK from March the 15th. So as members, we want to encourage each other to go out there and buy the skinny tonic. Try it, buy it, share it, get some social media on it. This shows the human capital, the strength of the Angel Business Club, not just as investors, but we've got a network of people here, and we can help the sales on this product to get it established, get it started, get some publicity for it, and really help that further along, because we're all shareholders in that business anyway, so it makes sense. A very powerful thing to do. MyCab, next company that we received information on. MyCab has signed a 3-year contract with the world's largest global distribution system, Travelport, and we've got an update next week from the CEO, Nigel Clark, so we can get some information on it. I believe there'll be another video out as well, because this image here shows them in the background. Looks like Nigel's been into head office, clubhouse rather, Angel Business Club, so look forward to that webinar next week. Next business, Smart Trade Up, progressing steadily on all fronts, looking to make some big profits this year as they move into profitability. The big deal with Barclays is still there, and they are signing up lots and lots of merchants potentially in the next few months. Could be looking at an IPO this year even, and certainly moving into profit. Significant growth forecast for the next 6 months. Eurobrands are now considering a possible flotation on the Nasdaq First North. which is the same as Ridercam, which is the next company we're looking at. Ridercam, now in the closed period. Ridercam make high definition cameras for roller coasters. They are the world leaders in this technology, and this one's been a slow burner, but it is given some very good gains. If you were with the Angel Business Club earlier on, right at the start, then you're sat on very, very healthy returns already with Ridercam. They're due to float in, and probably in the next 6 weeks. It always does depend on how the road shows go, which is where they go around, the institutional investors, how much they're interested in. Looking to raise 23 million Swedish krona, which is about £2 million, and that will help them expand their business, as that will allow them to increase the rate at which they install their high definition cameras on the roller coasters. And once it's there, Dominic said this is like a car park business. You do all the effort, you get the car parks. Once the car park is built, you've just got people coming every day, parking and paying to park there. It just becomes a cash cow. It just generates revenue. And so when, if you look at the horizon in a few years' time, Ridercam going for its flotation in the next few weeks, but by 2022, Dominic's saying we could see a 700% increase in the value of the business. We're on 100 roller coasters every day. People are on the roller coaster, they're downloading their movies, they're sharing it on Facebook and on social media. Great news for the roller coaster companies or the theme parks. Great news for Ridercam as well. So this one looks like a 7, maybe even a 10 bagger in the next few years. Looking very, very strong there still. WaveTech, this one it's been about a year, I think, since that investment was made with WaveTech. They're now in the final stages for a flotation on the Nasdaq stock exchange. This one again has taken slightly longer because I think WaveTech have decided to they're doing a reverse takeover with a company called Intercloud, so that's going to get them on the Nasdaq stock exchange. But essentially, because WaveTech was a German company, I think they found that actually listing on Nasdaq as a German company was not as easy. So they're doing a reverse takeover, and again, we should see some returns on that very, very soon. What else we got? Tex. Big news on Tex. They've now got a new person involved with the business. I'm trying to look at the Tex now and find out what he is. Mike Vincent joined the company this month as finance director. So there you go, he's finance director. I believe he took, as finance director, another company called Restore PLC. He took that from £5 million valuation to £150 million valuation within the space of 5 years. So, if we do the same thing, or if he does the same thing with Tex, which is currently around about a £5 million valuation, we could be looking at £150 million valuation in 5 years. Now, the Angel Business Club members, early members again, got in valuation at 3 million. So if we get to 150 million in the next 5 years, that is a 50-fold return. So £1,000 investment last summer potentially could knock back a 50,000. So 50,000 return within the next few years. So they clearly are getting involved with the right people. Business is expanding, over 65 full-time staff now within the group of companies. A couple of mergers also going on the way at this moment, so looking very strong there with Tex. So that's a quick update on the various companies. One thing I just wanted to highlight as well that Dominic commented on the webinar was the strength of the Angel Business Club. It's not just a crowdfunding site. It was actually quite condemning of the traditional crowdfunding sites out there. Crowdfunding sites traditionally work in favour of the companies wishing to raise funds. They don't work in favour of the investors. Crowdfunding sites make their money by raising funds for businesses. They don't charge their investors money for investing, so they have no interest in helping the investors. And actually the success rate on crowdfunding sites is incredibly poor. But with the Angel Business Club, the club is managing this. The club itself is what is known as a private equity partner. So it's one investor. So as a company comes to the Angel Business Club, if the Angel Business Club determines that that business is worth investing in, and the Angel Business Club has pretty rigorous tests, and most businesses it turns away, but those that it does decide to invest in, the company only has to deal with one investor. This is the nature of having a big private equity partner. So this is where you get the likes of the big celebrities or the big investors can make huge amounts of money because they have access to opportunities that are not available to the crowdfunding sites. A crowdfunding company, a company that goes to a crowdfunding site might ask for investment and end up with 2,000 shareholders, all with £100 shares each, which is a nightmare administratively trying to deal with 2,000 shareholders. Whereas if you're dealing with one shareholder, such as the Angel Business Club, who invests £200,000, it's far simpler. And that shareholder has a combined voice because the Angel Business Club, let's say, takes a 5% or a 10% stake in a business. The company has to listen to the Angel Business Club. So it's a very, very powerful way of investing. And yet we as members, I feel a bit naughty because, we don't have to do anything. All we do is we pay our monthly subscription, and Dominic and Joao and the rest of the team put all this effort. Dominic's flying here, there and everywhere, meeting people, holding business meetings, getting on boards and holding board meetings. And all we're doing is sitting here just making a monthly contribution. They do all the hard work, and yet we get the benefit that high net worth individuals would do as big private equity investors. So it really is very, very powerful stuff. And I must confess that hadn't occurred to me until Dominic said that, the difference between the Angel Business Club and other crowdfunding sites. Now, personally, I still regard the Angel Business Club as a crowdfunding organisation. However, I would call it crowdfunding 2.0. It's a far more managed way of doing things. We don't need to pick the companies. The club does all the effort for us. We just sit back and get our free shares every month. So just a reminder, if you've not yet joined the club, what is the deal? You pay £80 a month. You'll receive £70 worth of shares every month. So effectively it costs £10. Technically it's €10, but we'll just call it £10 is all it costs. Now, just a quick aside there, I used to do a lot of stock market trading, and an online broker, they would charge you £12.50 just to make a single trade on a share. With the Angel Business Club, we get access to all these live webinars, we get access to all these multiple shares, we get an internal trading platform where there's no charge to use that. We're simply paying €10 or £10 a month in admin fees. Everything else we're getting back in the value of shares. So you could come in at the top level if you want at £900 a month. You're only going to get a £10 charge in admin fees. The rest you get back in free shares every month. So you'd get £890 worth of shares every month. And when you see that there are businesses in here such as Tex that could give us a 50-fold return within the space of a few short years without needing any effort on our part, I think this is an absolute no-brainer. So do feel free to share this video and this page with other people as well. So there'll be a link on the screen now, which is how to share this video with people. So if you've got people who are interested in any form of investing but without the high financial risk, but they want to get in early in young startup companies that have the potential for 10, 20, 30, 50-fold, maybe even 100-fold returns, then the Angel Business Club is an absolutely brilliant place to be. So if you've not yet joined the club as well, click the link below. Join, sign up today. You get a full 14-day no risk money back guarantee. So there's absolutely no risk to get involved. You'll see your shares within 24 to 48 hours as soon as you've joined the club. And they'll be in your back office. And if you've got any questions at all, the club is extremely approachable. You can reach out to me or the person that introduced you. It will tell you when you sign up who's introduced you. So there's loads of help and facilities. The club is now well established, 4 years old. We're starting to see some real take off now on some of these businesses. They do take time. We're 4 years in, and some of these businesses are really starting to see momentum growth. Another flotation coming up in the next few weeks with RiderCam. We've already had 2 flotations on the London Stock Exchange, and there's more to come. So do join the club today. It's from £80 a month, which is just £2.70 a day. We're not talking high risk financially here, so do get involved. Take it, give it a spin for 14 days. I think you're going to love it. Thanks for watching, and we'll wish you all the best.